What's up, guys? It's welcome to the show. It's Fasting is Life. I'm back again with another awesome live stream. If anybody's coming in, for my new viewers, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And shout out to those people gonna catch the replay on the podcast. And I wanted to speak on this this Twitter thing. Uh, Supposedly, some trend started on Twitter where somebody mentioned that, quote unquote, based on the report that they were talking about the star alignment that was going to happen today on December 21st. And I guess because it was one of the most trending topic about, Jupiter and Saturn aligning or getting too close to each other or something. And then some trend on Twitter started about supposedly black people are gonna get superpowers today. So I was like, hey, that's kind of interesting. I'm like, where did that go about? So I was like, that's very interesting. Superpowers. I mean, who would want that? I mean, the power to levitate, like the picture you see, right? You have glowy eyes. You can turn Super Saiyan, Kamehameha wave, Kamehameha. I could destroy a whole planet, the power and visibility. So I'm like, interesting. So I'm like, what is the main purpose, Now I digged a little deeper, my sister told me that the original post, the lady who started it, the post, she was speaking more in, I'll say, like a rhetorical or spiritual aspect. It wasn't like a physical manifestation of superpower. It was more like in a physical, I mean, a spiritual, right? More like religious speaking, right? That, the stars aligning, everything, your fate will be sealed, and in particular, people on the earth will get spiritual powers or whatever, Wakanda forever, was it vibranium, inner vibranium and stuff, So I was like, that was interesting thing that people were talking about. So I was like, hey, let me talk about it in a few minutes. Now, for me, right, like if it was possible to get superpowers, right, my power will be invincibility, meaning nothing can hurt me, right? So let's say a car hit me, I won't feel anything. The car will be destroyed. Why? Because I'm invincible. I'm walking in the street, people doing construction, a big steel bar falls from the sky, hits me in the head, but guess what? I don't feel anything, but the steel thing breaks. Invincibility. So I can get hurt. That would be a great superpower. Another superpower I would love to have, teleportation, right? Where, why fly in a plane where I can pack my bags, imagine where I want to go, as long as I'm holding the things I want to travel with or teleport, instantly I'm there, right? I imagine a place, pew, transport, disappear from this location, transfer miraculously into the other location in an instant. That would be a superpower I would love to have, right? And third, flying. Now, flying, when I say flying, right, it has to be way better than Superman, right? Superman, when he flies, you can track him. Me, I want to be able to fly like 1,000,000 times faster than the speed of light. So for me to go to China, it should be in the blink of an eye. But to me, in my perspective, I can, it will be motion like, I'm going to the water, touching the water, right? But to the world, it will be as if it didn't happen. Like in a blink of an eye, I'm there, right? So basically, as fast as I can teleport, I want it to be as fast as I can fly. But from my point of view, I can make everything slower than it is. Why? Because I'm so fast, right? Kind of like the Flash. But at the same time, I can fly fast and still make things look normal, right? So that would be another power. Now, another power that I was thinking about, uh, huh, draining, energy draining, meaning I'll have unlimited energy. I won't need to sleep. If I have to sleep, it's just for the pleasure of it, not because to regenerate myself, right? Like to basically re-energize myself. That would be the superpower I would love to have. So you have instant teleportation, uh, flying at a million, was this a million times the speed of light. Uh, what is it? What was the other one? Invincibility. So what else should I add? Uh, mm, I'm trying to think. Okay. Uh, okay. Shooting energy, like meaning I have the power to manipulate nature, right? Like lightning, thunder, right? Fire, wind, storm. The power to manipulate nature to my pleasure, right? So let's say I have a farm and I live in a desert, right? And it doesn't rain. Well, I can just call on the clouds and let it rain for like 2 weeks. Once the water soaks in that soil, well, guess what? In a few months, crops will start growing up. So that'd be an awesome power to have. Nobody lives in a desert, but I'll be like, you know what? I can use this opportunity to go get myself a piece of land, so I can live in a desert and create my own utopia or something. So that would be something I would love to do. But I think besides those powers, I think I won't really need, because for you to be invincible and having replenished energy, you're basically immortal. You can't die, right? And that's like, if you have, like, I'll put it this way: for you just having invincibility and immortality, you're good. Now, that the downside is, when you start to think too deep, right? Okay, let's say you're an immortal, right? Immortal meaning you'll never die, and you have invincibility meaning nothing can hurt you. So that means all your loved ones that you know from your generation, they'll die off, and then you're left alone. You create new relationship, they die off. So another question is okay, if you have all those powers, how is it going to affect you psychologically, right? So you will basically like a god, but it's like you create a relationship and you break them. So psychologically, you're having scars built on, right? Because you're having people that you love and care coming and going, right? All the time, coming and going, right? You see them buried. You cry for them, right? You cry for them. Everybody cry for them, but guess what? You get to see one by one the people you love and care about for whether it's 100 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, come and go, and you crying for them. The question is, how is it going to affect you psychologically? And if there is a superpower, I mean, is there a superpower where it can make you, erase your emotions, where you don't have a sense of, what I call it? Like you don't have feelings, right? That's why even if you think about it, like Greek mythology, they were talking about how the gods, they were able, to basically play with mankind. Why? Because they didn't care. They didn't have any feelings for humanity per se, you know. So that could be a question that people could think about. Like, okay, if you're a being that's gonna have all this power, right? Would you want your mental clarity or your mental conscience to be affected? And if so, how would you go about it? Because think about this: if you're an immortal, right? See, another thing people that never think. I mean, I don't know. I thought about it before. Okay, you are a god that cannot die, right? You can't die. You're invincible, meaning nothing can hurt you. Your skin is tough as hell. But here's your weakness: feelings, emotions. It's something, guess what? You can't remove it. Why? Because even the gods have feelings. For you to be angry, that means you have a feeling. For you to feel love or getting horny, right? The gods, they came down to have sex with women. For you to have those feelings, that means what? You have a mind. So feelings, you can't. It's like you can't quote unquote remove it all of the equation. So the question is, if you're like a god that have all this emotion, right? But you were born, but you gained that power. How would you go about feeling the pressure of losing your loved one after the next? Let's say you get married, your wife you don't get old, but your wife gets old and she dies. You have children, they grow up and they die, right? So each generation you marry and you lose everybody, and then you go to a maybe 40 years where you're like, what, I'm gonna be celibate, I'm gonna be an incel, I'm not gonna deal with women, right? But then you fall in love, do sex, have children, they all grow up, you never age, you still young as ever, and then they die. It's a repeat cycle. Would you want that power? Right? That's something to think about. Would you want a power where your emotions can be affected? I mean, it's gonna be affected. Why? There is no superpower for your mind. There's you're not gonna have, I mean, even the gods, they had weakness. So yeah, you cannot die, right? Mortals die, but guess what? You have a conscience. So imagine that. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, let me know. And you guys are welcome to jump in. I just parked my truck right now. I was driving. I just stopped right now. I don't know if you guys can hear the noise, but yeah, I just stopped now. And I was like, I saved this topic. I wanted to talk about it, you know, because to me, I was like, it was intriguing and funny, but interesting. And I was like, why this thing spread online like crazy? You know me, I got my tinfoil hat on. I'm like, it was this like a Masonic coding, uh, like sending a message not to quote unquote black people, but to Boule, or it was another distraction for what's really about to happen, right? What if it's the reversal? No, they're gonna drain your powers away, right? They're not gonna give it to you. They're gonna drain it away from you. What if that's what as above, so below, the opposite, reverse, right? They give you something, but they actually mean the opposite. Maybe that's what they were referring to. Who knows? Yeah, that's something to think about. I was thinking about it all day. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out because you know me, I got my tinfoil hat always on, so I'm like, okay, of all the time that they could make a jokes when it comes to quote unquote black people, and under this pandemic, having this whack, this darkness, with the VAC and the shot, the needle. Oh, the black, there's a lot of them that are affected by this, pandemic, the hoaxico thingy. You guys know I can't say, I'm being watched. Um, and speaking about being watched, guys, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but there is a censorship going on. I don't know, either they're doing some updates, but on my Fasting is Live channel, all the channels where I frequent with this channel, I post a comment in the chat, right? But when I refresh it, nobody saw it. It disappears. I can't comment on anybody's platform from this channel on the chat, like on the live chat. But if I log out and go to the what do you call it? If I go to the my Fasting is Live channel, I can. So the question is, what the hell is going on? Like, what is YouTube doing? Something smells fishy, and by fishy, it smells like a hoax. Something is going on, but there's no way of proving it because, like I say, we don't know what you don't know. But and then this whole thing about supposedly black people getting superpowers today because there's gonna be an alignment. And here's the thing: how they gonna talk about alignment in the sky where when the whole thing about space is fake news? Everything they told us is all a bunch of lies. They- everything is within our atmosphere, guys. To see the stars you see, it's a decoration, just like in your eyes, right? What do you have? You have a fan, right? You got the little, for those big rich people. What do they have? Chandelier, the little was it looking big, or they're not diamonds, they're basically crystals, right? Where you lights on and the light is shining, reflecting on it, the chandelier, and then it's making your room shiny, whatever. What do you think? Mankind replicates what's in nature. What is it? How it have? It has what? It has a ceiling, and you can install what? Your fan, lights, decoration. You know. You think what do you think does that tell you? Right? So something is going on that they're not telling us. So they're using this whole thing. I mean, it could have been a joke. Like I say, it could be a joke. But like I say, something spreading like wildfire online, that should raise your eyebrow. Nothing is a coincidence. But I just wanted to make a quick live stream to talk about it. I think it was an interesting an interesting trend that was online. You know, I mean, what do you guys think your superpower should be, right? What do you think your superpower should be? Should it be changing your skin color? You're like, I'm tired of being looked at as a monster, so I need a new skin. You know, I mean, come on, hey, I'm sure some of the people out there think that way. I mean, what would be your other color? Like the power of uh, well, you don't have to change your skin, but you have the power to make people see you different, right? Like hypnotism, like genjutsu. For those of you who know, shout out to the Naruto fans out there. So yeah, there you have it. I just wanted to start this quick live stream. I just finished work. Shout out to everybody who's been working hard today, and I think that's enough for now. This was just a quick live stream talking about black people having superpowers because there's some star alignment today, according to scientists. Oh, Jupiter coming closer, and all those names are name of fallen gods. The name of speaking of, I was saying about gods and all that stuff. And guess what? They named those circle thing, those little fake news thing. They call it planets, and people don't even understand the word planet. Planet is it's Greek. It means wandering luminaries, lights. So if you have something outside of us that's alive, because in order for you to have motion, you gotta be living, right? Isn't that what we learn in science? So when they talk about planets, what do you think those are? Living things, living beings. None of us went out there to see how it looks like. They tell you. And all those pictures, it's all paintings. It's not real. I went to art school. We were messing around where we can create fake moons, fake craters, using Photoshop. And I always ask people, right? I always I always ask people, where did they get these pictures? And they tell you, they say NASA's rendition, right? They tell you it's NASA's rendition or the interpretation. So it's not the real quote unquote image of Venus, Mars, Jupiter. It's an interpretation. So what does that? If it's an interpretation, that means it's not the real thing. It's an imagination. Imagination means what? Fake news. False. It's not real. But like I say, we've been indoctrinated to believe it's real. Let's see. I'll post. I don't even know if it's gonna show up. I'm posting to stream here in the chat. Whoever wants to jump in before I go, if you want to speak on this, black people having superpowers or not. But you're welcome to. I'm about to drive off here on the road. But yeah, I was like, this raises a lot of questions regarding the whole thing about superpowers and all that stuff, and the current event that's going on. Christmas is here this Friday. Most places are gonna be closed. Like me, I'm surprised I'm not gonna work today. I'm not gonna work on Christmas Day, so that's a good thing. So I'm gonna have a 3-day weekend. I don't celebrate Christmas. That's just another day for me. But yeah, I told you what superpowers I would love to have. Maybe you want to speak on what superpowers you would love to have. That would be nice. What if they say in order for you to have your superpower, you have to give one of your limbs? Huh? So let's say you like, I want to have the power of Thor, right? I want to be able to hold the hammer, right? And I can do everything that Thor does, but I get to lose one leg. Would you do it? You have the power of hammer, right? The power of Thor's hammer. You can call lightning. You can float in the air. You can fly with that thing, right? But guess what? You only have one leg. Would you do it? Or let's say you have the power of Wolverine, right? You have the power of Wolverine, but you don't have a dingling. No dingling. So that means you can make love to women, but you have the power of the Wolverine. How about that? Would you do it? Would you sacrifice your dingling to just be Wolverine, right? Or you have the power to basically read people's minds, but you're blind. You can't see. You can't see, but you have the power to read people's minds, right? Oh, you have the power to see like Superman, meaning you can see from afar. You can zoom in with your own eyes, but guess what? You can't speak. You mute. So you gave up your speech abilities to be able to see from afar. Would you do it? See, hey, there are conditions now. Okay, you have the power of the Flash, right? You can run as fast, right? You do fast, you can run fast, speed of light. But they'll be like, okay, you gotta give something up. Like, oh, what do you have to give up? What can I say? You have to give up. You can't eat meat. You only have to eat vegetables. Would you do it? Meaning, the day that you eat meat, you lose all your powers. So that will be one of your weaknesses. Meaning, your enemies, they will do their best. Then guess what? You don't have to eat meat. Your weakness is anything that comes from animals makes you lose your power. So whether it's butter, right? Anything, eggs, whatever, right? So let's say you love rice. So your enemies are like, oh man, that's the guy who can run fast. Like, oh, his weakness is meat. Okay, let's cook some eggs and scramble it in his rice and put enough spices so he won't smell the egg, right? So there you have it. That means you gotta make sure you don't make any mistake. Oh, guess what? Don't even go eat it fast food. Why? Most of the time, the food that they're cooking, guess what? Let's say you just want to eat fries, right? Fries is going to go vegetables, right? But guess what? That oil they're frying, guess what they did? They fried chicken. They fried burger. So guess what? If you eat a fry, because you got a little drop of that meat juice, guess what? You be eating there, and then your enemy said, we're about to get you. And they try to run, you can't. You're not fast enough. They catch you. Game over. Why? Because that was your weakness. A trade-off. You can be as fast as you can, right? You can eat anything, but don't eat meat. Can you do it? Would you do it? Would you accept the deal, right? And vice versa. You could have the power, let's say, okay, you're Black Panther, right? You can run fast, like you know that little juice that they take, right? You get all the power of the Black Panther, right? But as soon as guess what? But you have a weakness. As a black person, you can say the N-word. So that means in all your life, you have to make sure you can never, ever, even accidentally say the N word. That's your weakness. You say no more Wakanda forever. It's over. Game over. Would you take? Would you take it? Do you think you be? Hey, you have the power of the Black Panther, Wakanda forever, but you can say the N word. Would you do it? Can you think you have the ability to resist till that day, or that will never happen? Would you do it? And I know a lot of you listening, to my brothers are here, Guess what? Fair. So, yeah, you're gonna slip up. You. Guess what? It's gonna come out. Guess what? The power is gone, and then you're gonna have a king and say, "Is this your king? Is this your king?" Why? Because he said the N word. So, it's something to think about. I like to think about this kind of stuff. It's interesting. Oh man. So yeah, I mean, the sun is setting down. I still have to see flying black people out here, or some lightning, Thor, hammer, and chaos in the streets. Man, I see this. I forgot the name of these guys. They made a stream where they were talking about they got the superpowers, right? They used the special effects. Man, that was funny. One guy could fly, and then the other one could run fast, and he had the power of fire. That was a funny skit. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to jump on this, and for those of you who get a chance in the comment, mention what superpower you think you would like to have, and maybe give a scenario about the weaknesses and strengths. So, I gave you my four. It was a invincibility, was a regeneration, teleport, the power to fly at the speed, a million times the speed of light, and immortality, so I can, live forever. And I mentioned the downside of immortality. So, shout out to you, everybody out there. Be safe. I just got off work, stuck in traffic. Be safe, guys, and don't be traveling these holidays. That's when stuff happens. Stay home, wear your mask, 6 feet apart, and obey what the government tell you. Peace.